Today I got a special guest on today. This is Rod Uncensored Podcast. Got a special guest, Kenny, the Sport Guys Podcast. How you doing, sir?
How you doing, man? Thank you for letting me be on the show today.
All right. I got something to show you, man. Even though it hurts me to show you this.
Oh boy, here we go.
Let me get back to it. Let me skip it.
Oh, little Giants Patriots action, right?
Yeah.
That was such a great Super Bowl, man. Wow. Also, look at that. Tom Brady stepping back, throws the ball, and it's incomplete. He's gonna see a lot of that this season. He's gonna be a lot of incompletions.
Man, this definitely hurts right here, Kenny. This hurts.
Oh boy, look at that. Oh, looks like the refs are doing their jobs though, but wow. Touchdown, let's go. Who was that? Victor Cruz? Yep, Victor Cruz. Wow.
But he could have do this in the regular season. This is what it didn't make sense to me. I feel like his accuracy got better in the postseason.
Yeah, it does not make no sense, right? Like, he was actually pretty bad that year, and he turned into God mode during the Super Bowl. Like, it's crazy. Gronk in a Patriots uniform. That's crazy. Gronk at that time was actually very unstoppable. Like, nobody could stop him. He was out of this world during this time. Ooh. Who was that?
Hernandez.
Yeah, him. Aaron Hernandez. We all know how that turned out. It's actually a nice pass to Hernandez. I don't know. Nobody's gonna admit this, but Brady's actually very sneaky in the pocket.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah,
it's like he dances around the pocket. He just somehow escapes. I think that's the most underrated thing about his game.
Let me turn it off before my feelings get hurt and I had to cry.
Trust me, man. He done a lot of that with the Jets. I'm a huge Jets fan, and I'm used to it. I don't even cry anymore the way he does it.
Man, it definitely hurt that year, man. Especially how Wes Welker overjudged the ball, and we could have had a field goal and won that.
Yeah,
we definitely could have won that, but you can't live in the past, man. Tell the people about yourself and your podcast and your journey in podcasting.
Well, Kenny the Sports Guys podcast started in May of 2020, where I lost my job due to the pandemic, obviously, and I was looking for something to do to fill the time until the pandemic passes. I started, Kennedy Sports Guys podcast, just because I just wanted to get a different voice and different perspective in sports. So I actually celebrated my 100 episode 30 minutes ago. Actually, I released an episode. Wow. Yeah. So I've done over 100 episodes, like exactly 100 episodes. And in the podcast, I'll talk about NFL, NBA, MLB, NFL, AEW and WWE, and I enjoy it. Podcast The Journey has been, how should I say this, wild to say the least.
So you just did it because you know what I mean. You just had free time pretty much. And,
yeah, and it turned out to be like a hobby for me.
And you on your 100th episode.
Yep, 100 episodes.
So what's been the feedback from your you know what I mean, your listenership and your fans? How's that been?
I mean, it's been good so far. I have had a lot of receptions, a lot of congratulations on the 100th episode. I think my opinions are very, very strong, considering that I'm a huge WWE and AEW fan, and that is something that sometimes the fans actually push back whenever I give my opinion on them. And it's actually very interesting how people, reacted to like certain opinions on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. It's very, very interesting.
So, what like pushback? How?
So whenever I criticize WWE, there is a certain aspect of people saying, "Oh, you're wrong. You're not even watching the product," all that stuff. It's just it's just those regular pushbacks that trolls on Twitter where people literally will like just curse you out if you say something wrong, or give an opinion on it.
So what? So like I stopped watching wrestling probably in like 06. I stopped watching wrestling in general because I just think the storyline is cringy now.
Yeah, it is.
And
it's definitely cringy.
The promos are not as good as it used to be. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like the art has lost the entertainment side of the storyline. And I feel like that goes hand to hand with the wrestling. You know what I mean? And
but also people tend to forget it's actually the wrestling that sells things, like the moves, the movesets, all that stuff. That's what I like about AEW, because AEW actually tells a story via wrestling. You let's face it, you don't really need a 15-minute promo just to set up everything. So people just want to watch wrestling basically. And that's what AEW does a good job at. WWE, I admit, has improved a bit because Triple H is actually in charge of head creative now. And he's doing a pretty good job so far. But I think the quality of the product just gone from an F to a D. That's basically it. That's my opinion on it.
But I you know what I mean, you look at even if you look in the older days, and Ric Flair did his last match a couple months ago. I mean, the wordplay was different back in them early 80s and 2000. The Rock with his slogan, his his swag, and we don't have superstars with that kind of swag no more.
I mean, the only person is probably close to that is actually Roman Reigns. But even him, he's getting a bit stale out of that. I mean, it's like back then he had like such great characters like The Undertaker, Ric Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Vader, even like the lesser known characters, even the Brooklyn Brawler. The Brooklyn Brawler actually had like a character with him, even though he loses a lot of matches. So right now, I actually agree with you in terms of there's like no set character, like there's no established character in it. I mean, the only person that could fit that description right now is Roman Reigns. Everything's like so realistic. There's like no supernatural characters like The Undertaker. There's no like wacky characters like Doink the Clown. I mean, maybe if you include Danhausen, he's like the only one that actually has that wacky character put down. But it just feels very, very missing for wrestling right now.
It's like reading a book and you like, man, the first chapter, I think I'm gonna close the book. You know what I mean? It's like I left when MVP was coming in, and you know what I mean. The lesser, I'm like, I can't really get into it. You know what I mean? Like I can't get into it.
Like I try to get into like WWE, like right now with Triple H charge. It's just I don't know. I just not feeling it. I mean, it's cool to watch, but I just can't relate to any of the characters other than Killer Cross or Karrion Kross and Johnny Gargano. I mean, the storyline there is pretty much, mediocre at best. Like, that's my opinion on it. Everyone else will probably think otherwise because they just, they can't get out of their Triple H bubble.
You know what I mean? And I liked it, back in, WWE when Eddie Guerrero used to prank, Big Show, giving him, terrible burritos, and he's taking the shit, you know what I mean? Them days were good, you know what I mean? Them days of the intensity was great with the pranks, and the storyline was great then.
Yeah, but now it's not. I just feel like they got lazy with the storylines, Mm-hmm. You can say the same for both companies as well, AEW and WWE.
Mm-hmm.
But with the problem with AEW is they have a ceiling. Like, not many people realize that they're a 3-year-old company. They're gonna improve over time. That's why I don't get these. Sometimes these wrestling journalists, like, they post YouTube videos out every day, just basically trashing them, when they're missing the fact that they're actually a 3-year-old company and they're learning from everything. As if like WWE is like a 50-year-old company, they already established themselves as one of the best companies in the world. I just feel like fans and like journalists alike, they're missing that point.
Mm-hmm. Competition is good for everybody.
It is. And I feel like both companies actually, improve their product. AEW improved it substantially. WWE, like, I personally think it doesn't. I think the quality improved a little bit, but not as much as people say, because, like I said earlier, they can't get out of the Triple H bubble. But I'm glad that actually competition is coming on both sides.
So, I want to get in here why, ask you these questions, why I got you. Man, how do you feel about the Giants preseason and overall what players you drafted? What do you think? How do you feel about your current team?
So I'm a New York Jets fan.
Oh, you're a Jets fan?
Yeah, I'm a Jets fan. So
wow. Okay. What do you feel? I saw kind of Yankee Giant type news, so I thought you.
But I also cover the Giants as well. And to answer your question, I think the preseason for the Giants is actually pretty good, but they have had a lot of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
The rookie, what's his name? Cavani Bordeaux.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he got hurt, and they don't know when he's gonna come back. He might come back week 1 against the Titans. Who else got hurt? I know that, like, a lot of people got hurt during the that Jets game as well. But overall, I think the Giants are gonna shock a lot of people this year. I think maybe they'll win. Man, that's actually a good question. How many wins they get? 7 or 8 games, but they won't win the division. I think that's gonna go to Dallas. Even though I really don't like the Cowboys.
I like Brian Daboll.
I do like him too. I think he's a good coach.
So you say you got him with 7 wins?
Yeah, 7 or 8 wins around that area. Maybe 3rd place in the division.
The funny thing is, I have the Eagles winning the division. I know people think I'm crazy, but I have the Eagles. I think Tyron Smith, that's a real major hit for them on that line. Even though he's been hurt the last couple of years, but their line, I have really big question marks in the play calling. I really don't like Kellen Moore at all. I think his play calling is dumb. You can look in the playoffs. Who calls a draw with that much time left on the clock? You know what I mean?
That was so bad. That was really, really bad play calling right there. How many wins do you think the Eagles going to win this year?
I'm going to say 10-7. I got them going 10-7.
That's actually a good prediction. What about the Cowboys?
I think they only get 8 or 9 wins, maybe.
Wow. I actually agree with you. I think 9 wins would be good. I think they have a little bit of a drop-off. I think they need a running game. I think Zeke needs to get it going. I really like Tony Pollard as the running back. He actually, makes things smoother for the offense. He helps out Dak Prescott a lot. I think they're kind of weak in the wide receiver department because
that's my biggest worry. Biggest worry. I don't think CD going to have a big year like that.
Yeah, they traded away Amari Cooper. He was vital in that offense. CeeDee Lamb, he might be the future of that franchise as well, but I think he's going to struggle in his. I think this is his sophomore year, right?
Yeah, yes, I think it's a sophomore year.
Yeah. So he's going to struggle there. I could see Dallas winning 90 games. Basically, that's it. And also maybe I think one team you should watch is I know it's going to really messed up. It's going to be messed up, but the Washington Commanders. I mean, nobody talks about them because they're the Commanders, and based on the offseason that they had, I think they have a pretty good team there. The defense is pretty good if Chase Young is healthy. The offense it could get it together. I mean, who's gonna? I think Carson Wentz is obviously gonna be the quarterback, but
And that's what worries me right there.
you can't count on him to be like have him available for all the games. He gets injured quick, and also nobody talks about this, but like FedEx Field is known for injuries, especially in the QB position, and I think it's a terrible place for Carson Wentz to play because that turf, oh man, is so bad. I don't know if they removed it this offseason, but like I said, it's so bad.
Yeah, I really don't see it, man, to be honest with you. I really don't see it at all. I don't like Carson Wentz, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's really inconsistent in general with his throws and his decision making. I can't put no faith in him.
Well, I don't blame you because he's been injured a lot. He's been very inconsistent. Remember the last game against the Jaguars?
You got to win that game.
Yeah, he never won. He got to win that game, and that was actually pathetic too.
Like he got to win that game. Like it's no way you should lose to Jacksonville in that situation. And I feel like they got the right quarterback for them. I don't think Matt Ryan is quite done. I'm definitely taking Matt Ryan over Carson Wentz any day of the week.
Yeah. I think I agree. I don't think Carson Wentz. I mean, Matt Ryan is done actually. I think he has maybe 2 more good years, and that's it.
You can give me a New York hot dog for him. Be honest with you.
Trust me, the hot dogs here are pretty good.
But how do you feel about the ceiling of your Jets this year?
I'm gonna shock a lot of people, but this prediction might be in the toilet because the injury to Zach Wilson. But I have been winning 11 games.
That's the MILF Hunter. I call him the MILF Hunter.
But I do have the Jets winning 11 games. But that might be a danger because I don't know if Zach Wilson is going to be available for, the first game of the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of might derail everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think I really don't trust Joe Flacco. I don't at all. I respect him as a Super Bowl champion, but he's not a viable long-term future for this franchise. And me personally, I think they should have gone out and traded for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Wow.
Yeah. He should have just, they should have traded him and then have him be like a placeholder for like at least maybe the first 4 games and until Zach Wilson arrives. And then, I think they should have got him. I mean, currently, I think Flacco is scheduled to start week 1 if Wilson cannot go. They also got Chris Streveler. I mean, I seen him preseason. I think he has some potential, but he's not like a long-term quarterback as well. But I truly believe that they should have got Jimmy Garoppolo in that trade. But it is what it is. We just gotta,
I have another. Go ahead. I have another question for you. How do you feel that y'all should have made that trade for Debo with all them picks?
If you would ask me this the day after the Super Bowl, I would have said yes. But now, I feel no. I don't think we needed him because we have like a group of young wide receivers right now. We still got Berrios. We still got Brown. We still have Gary Wilson. We also got that CB Sauce Gardner, which he's going to be a problem in this league in the years to come. I mean, we have a young core in place in the offense and the defense as well, but as far as Deebo Samuel's on the team, I don't think he will actually fit with it. Because right now, like if we didn't draft Wilson and the other wide receivers, I feel like we should have just gone out and get Samuels. But apparently he's happy in San Francisco now.
How do you feel about people comparing Sauce to thinking he's going to be the next Darrell? Do you feel like that still is too high for him to fill them kind of shoes in that secondary?
Look, I don't really follow like things like that because I feel like you are your own player, and the comparisons between other Hall of Famers and legends is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, let Sauce Gardner be his own player. I mean, he's going to be good, and he's going to be good, yes. But comparing him to Darrell Revis right now is ridiculous. I mean, a few years ago, we drafted D. Milliner, and people were already comparing him to the Darrell Revis. Look what happened. D. Milliner is out of the league now, and Gardner is going to be a good player, but the comparisons is not really fair. Let him at least play a game in the NFL and see what happens.
So, what I mean? It's a lot of people and sources that, on this, circle and the podcast, environment got y'all going and sweeping us. My Patriots twice. Do you believe y'all gonna sweep us twice?
So in my predictions for the AFC East, I have the Jets actually sweeping the Patriots twice, because I think it's about time that we haven't basically won a game against the Patriots since, I think, in 5 years. So you guys swept us every single year from, I think, 2017 on. So I think they're going to sweep them. I think it's going to be very close in both games. But I think, it is a possibility. But Bill Belichick is still the coach. So he basically got the Jets number. So I would not be surprised if the Patriots sweep us as well.
It's just crazy. I mean, watching YouTube and watching other podcasters, and they got us going 5-12, which is mine. Yeah.
What?
It's mind blowing. It blew my mind for somebody to say such things. 5-12. We went 7-9 with Cam Newton.
Yeah.
like with
That's crazy. 5-12. I have them actually 9-8.
Oh, that's not.
I mean, they're placed in the division, but I think there will be a good 9-8 team. I mean, you can't count out Belichick, obviously, but 5-12 is absolutely ridiculous. I don't see them with a losing record at all.
I think the biggest thing is because a lot of people think Josh McDaniel, the reason why we won everything. Which is crazy to me because Charlie White's won us 3. You know what I mean? Charlie White.
Were they the coaches of the Patriots back then? I mean, were they the head coach? Because I have a feeling that this guy was the head coach for all those years during the Super Bowl run, Bill Belichick.
And that's why
that's crazy.
It's crazy. You watch, the other, podcasts, and they got you going 5-12 when it was other coordinators there that got us, Super Bowl wins. It's crazy to me.
So the coordinators are so important to the team. The head coaches mean nothing, basically.
I guess they don't got no say of play calling. The offensive coordinator does everything, and a head coach don't got no executive decisions when it comes to play calling. It's crazy to me.
So you're telling me that all those Super Bowls the Patriots won, it was because of the offensive coordinators and the defensive coordinators. I mean,
that's what I'm getting.
It doesn't have to do with Bill Belichick.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
Wow, that's the most stupidest take I've ever heard.
But man, how do you feel week 1 versus Baltimore?
I think we'll pull it out. I think I have them winning 38-31. I think Zach Wilson plays in that game. I think he's gonna light it up.
I'm getting reports that he's not going to play and it's going to be Joe.
So it's going to be Joe. Okay, so then I have to change my pick then because now Joe Flacco is going to start. But now to flip over, I think the Ravens actually have to win that game. because, like I said earlier, I don't really trust Joe Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
I respect him as a Super Bowl champion, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not a long-term situation for that franchise, and we need Wilson back ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So how do you feel about all these people jumping on the Miami bandwagon and making them a Super Bowl contender with Tua? How do you feel about that?
First of all, these people are delusional. One, they're more delusional than Cowboys fans. Two, I still believe that they should have traded Tua away. They should have traded Tua. I think. I mean, this is his. I think this is his rookie year, right? Well, last year was his rookie year, right? Or
Who?
Tua.
Ain't this like his second or third
year?
year?
Yeah, second or third year. Yeah. So, I think he still got a lot to learn, and also, I know they have Tyreek Hill. I know they have a legit wide receiver down the field, but I just don't trust Tua. And they have improved the offensive line. Last year's offensive line was a complete joke. I mean, I like the signing of
Armstead.
Yeah, Armstead. I love that signing. Actually, that's actually one of the best signings they've done this year and like years past. Yes, they need like a legit offensive lineman. He's gonna protect Tua, but I have one question about Tua, his arm strength. Like, I think his arm strength is a little bit weak. I don't think he's going to throw the ball down the field. I mean, I think Tyreek Hill's numbers is going to actually dip a little bit because Tua. I mean, basically, Patrick Mahomes just threw the ball at Tyreek every single play, and they connected. So, also, it kind of baffles me that actually Tyreek Hill is a Dolphin now. I don't know why the Chiefs traded him away.
I don't know why the Dolphins gave him all that money.
Miami. they're desperate.
It's like, what can we at least say he might have another 3 years at that top speed? You know what I mean? At that in his prime, maybe.
See that, like 2 to 3 years more likely tops.
And then what he's going to do without that speed? What kind of route? He's not a route. You know what I mean? Master like that.
His strength is actually speed. So
yeah, I mean, like route running.
He's not a good route runner.
He's not a Devontae Adams or Cooper Kupp, a Justin Jefferson. He's not up there with the route running technicians. You know what I mean?
He's just speedy. No.
And look what happened to speed. And look what happened to Deshaun Jackson after that speed was no more.
Yeah. Right now he's like bouncing around like other teams. It's crazy. Like they paid him a lot of money though. How much? It's over $100 million, right?
I think something crazy like that. I think
it's crazy.
But a lot of people got them on the Super Bowl.
But do you think the Chiefs made a right move in trading him?
Yeah, you gotta think about the future.
Yeah. I mean, right now the Chiefs' wide receiver core isn't really that good. I mean, you got who they pick?
You got Juju.
Yeah,
they got Juju.
I mean,
Hardman.
Yeah, but
man, I don't know after that.
Yeah, that's the only two wide receivers I can think of on the top of my head.
Kelsey gonna have to be heavy, and you're gonna have to run it with Belair. They're gonna have to.
He's gonna have an MVP year, like Kelsey.
Yeah, he's gonna have to.
That's gonna be Mahomes' security blanket.
But do you think sitting right now in the AFC West, do you have faith in them to beat the Chargers twice, the Raiders twice?
Actually, I have them winning the division.
You got them winning the division?
Yep. I have them winning 11 games.
Wow.
You know why? Because I believe in Patrick Mahomes. So I have the Chiefs finishing first, the Raiders second, the Broncos third, and the Chargers last.
But the Chargers last.
Yeah, but here's the thing: every single one of them have winning records, so they're all going to be like really, very good. It's going to be a very competitive division.
So do you have 3 teams going to the playoffs from that division?
I'm sorry?
I said, do you have 3 teams from that division going to the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's really rare now. You know what I mean? 3 teams.
So I like to compare the AFC West to the AL East in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, currently, like there are 3 AL East teams, trying to make it to the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the equivalent of football. Like the AFC West is actually the AL East.
Mm-hmm.
But I have the Chiefs winning the division, followed by the Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers. Look, I love Justin Herbert, and I think he's gonna light it up this year. But unfortunately, he plays in the toughest division in football.
How do you feel about let's go to the AFC North. How do you feel about the AFC North as it stands?
I think the Bengals are actually being disrespected.
Why do you feel like they're being disrespected for?
Because there was a lot of people out there that they actually believe that the Steelers is actually going to win the division. I don't believe so.
I don't see that.
Who's going to play QB? Mitch Trubisky?
You're going to have to go Kenny. You're going to have to go Kenny.
Yeah, you have to go Kenny. But I'm hearing reports that Trubisky might start week 1. And then, like, if he plays bad, Kenny Pickett's going to take over. But as for the Bengals, I think they're being very disrespected, and many people believe out there that their Super Bowl run was a fluke. I don't think so. I think they shore up the offensive line. That offensive line right now is actually 10 times better than last year.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow is not going to get killed this season. Let's see. The Steelers, they need a quarterback. I don't know who's going to play quarterback. Maybe Mitch Trubisky. Who else? The Browns. Deshaun Watson being suspended for 11 games. Jacoby Brissett taking over. I don't see like a winning record for them. And the Ravens, they still got Lamar Jackson. They lost Hollywood Brown, though. They traded him.
I think that was a good trade right there. You would give me all the picks for Hollywood Brown?
But they lost a weapon, though, an offense.
He can't be the press coverage, though.
Yeah, if you're trying to sign Lamar Jackson to like a huge deal, you want them to stay with them, you do anything possible, just to keep him there. But so for the AFC North, I have the Bengals winning, followed by the Ravens, followed by the Steelers, and followed by the Browns.
Mm-hmm. What do you feel like the ceiling for Trey Lance this year? What do you think his ceiling is?
I think his ceiling is pretty good. I think he kind of reminds me of a young Michael Vick when he came to the league.
Kenny.
It's not that I would. I mean, if you really look at his game, it's kind of like that.
I don't think he got the arm like Michael Vick.
Well, he obviously doesn't have the arm. He has the speed for it, maybe a little bit, but it's flashes of Michael Vick.
Okay.
Little flashes, not like Michael Vick, but I feel like he's gonna have a great year. I think Deebo Samuel is gonna light it up there as well. I think the Niners actually make it far this year again. I mean, they shocked a lot of people last season when they made it to the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat Dallas. And, we talked about this earlier. That play calling by Kellen Moore was absolutely abysmal. It was bad. I think Trey Lance actually he's going to do well this season. I think his ceiling is relatively high and it's going to keep growing. So, yeah, I'd have them there. Trey Lance is going to do well.
So how many wins do you think?
How many wins? I think relatively maybe 11 wins for them.
11 wins?
Yeah. Or maybe 9 to 11, around that area.
I just worry about that division with him.
I mean, the division, like the only team that's actually being taken serious is the Rams. I mean, the Cardinals, they have problems of their own. I mean, the whole Kyler Murray situation, it's still going to rear its ugly head. The Seahawks, they have no QB. I mean, they're gonna have
Smith.
They're gonna have Geno Smith,
your former quarterback.
Yeah, but come on, you really think he's gonna stay there for a year? I mean, he's gonna stay in the position for a year? No.
I've been asking for Jimmy G if I was them.
As a Jets fan, when I first heard that he was starting, I had flashbacks about all the bad starts he had. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he does in Seattle. So basically, the NFC West is a 2-team race. You got the Rams and you got the 49ers. That's what I believe.
Do you feel like the Packers going to fall off without Devontae Adams
No.
in the North? You don't think they're going to fall off?
Mm-mm. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna, he's gonna be Aaron Rodgers. He's gonna pass the ball to, a bunch of no-name wide receivers, and he's gonna make it into superstars. That's what I believe in.
I still don't understand how they lost that game to the 49ers. Like,
choke. Joke. I mean, that's basically what it was. I mean, Aaron Rodgers right now, he's not good in the postseason. He's good in the regular season, yeah, but in the postseason, he just, disappears. I have no idea why, but he just disappears. You can't really explain it. And right now, more and more people are actually calling him out on it. And I think it's actually rightfully deserved.
Just all the money he getting paid to get knocked out the playoffs is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I haven't seen this, in the 30 years I've been on this planet, paying a quarterback just to have one Super Bowl, all this money. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Which is a shame, really, because he is such a good player. He's such a great player. But right now, I don't know why he chokes in the postseason. Like, can someone explain that to me? Like, I don't know if it's because of bad play calling or just the talent isn't there in the postseason. I have no idea why.
Mm-hmm. And I seen on your profile, are you a Yankee fan or are you a Mets fan? Which one?
So I am a Yankee fan. I am currently working for the New York Yankees as a guest of service ambassador. Okay. And I really like my job. I think it's pretty good. I think I'm a huge Yankee fan. I have been hard on them in the past, especially right now, because the Yankees are not really doing well. They actually split a series with the Oakland Athletics. The Athletics are one of the worst teams in the league. So when they split a series with the Athletics, you're in trouble. Like, I like to say, like, they're playing down to their competition, which they are. I mean, lately they have been doing that. I think right now their record in August is like 8-19, which is absolutely crazy if you really think about it. And also, we dropped from the best record in the league down to the maybe fourth best record in the league, and it's absolutely scary.
So, do you think it's a problem with the arms, or I feel like y'all don't got enough arms?
We don't have. No, we should have done more in the deadline. So right now, our bullpen is in tatters. Chapman is out because he had a tattoo infection, which is, I don't know what he was thinking there. Clay Holmes have not been effective. He's out with a back strain. Mm-hmm. It's just basically a bunch of no-name, relievers in the bullpen. Luddage is pretty good. Peralta is pretty good. But the number one problem with the team is management. Like, Aaron Boone is not a good manager right now. He is not good at all. I think if he doesn't win the World Series this year, he's gonna get let go. Yeah, this is the year that he has to win a World Series. If not, well, he's gonna get fired.
How does it hurt? How bad does it hurt to see Buck Showalter winning with the Mets?
Oh, it hurts a lot. That's actually a good question. It hurts a lot. Right now, like, it literally hurts a lot. I mean, I don't hate the Mets. I actually think the Mets are actually a good team.
I love their pitching.
Yeah, I love the pitching. I love DeGrom. I love Scherzer. I love that pitching rotation. But they have a really good manager, Buck Showalter. I really wish he would have managed the Yankees.
You know how that went the first go around. I kicked them out.
Really that good. Yeah, but that was a different time also. So right now, like, if he would have managed the Yankees now, I guarantee you they wouldn't win the World Series. I like Buck Showalter, but in the last postseason he's been in, he overmanaged it a bit. He I don't know, remember, like, I think it was 2016 when he left Ubaldo Jimenez for far too long in that wild card round against the Jays. Mm-hmm. I mean, he has been known to making, foolish decisions on, like, pitching, offense, all that stuff, but we shall see, like, in this postseason, if the Mets make the postseason. I'm interested in seeing how he handles the bright lights of October.
It's just, man. I just think pitching is not the same no more, man. There's nobody that goes 9 innings
Yeah,
no more.
nobody pitches a complete game anymore. It's so rare now.
Everybody go like 6 innings, they got out the game.
Yeah,
It's not even fun to watch. like, nobody goes 9 innings no more.
you remember Roy Halladay, right? Yeah, he used to literally pitch every game, a complete game.
We ain't never gonna see nothing like that again.
Yeah, we're not gonna see it. You know why? Because more managers are worried about their pitcher's arm during the regular season. They probably want to save it for the postseason as well. Because baseball is such a long sport; it's like 6 months.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I miss those days where like complete games were actually at a norm, but now it's just rare to find. You know.
So, who's your dark horse to win it all right now? Non-biased opinion. Who do you feel like is going to win it all?
You see, that's actually a good question. I'm looking at the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays actually have a really good team.
I like Vlad. I
love
Jr.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I love that young core. Currently, they're second in a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Blue Jays in there. And despite like all the injuries that they have this season, they've been like destroyed by it. The Tampa Bay Rays, like watch out for them as well, because the Rays are actually really, really good. Somehow, then they're in the playoff talk, and I don't know. I think the Jays are actually going to make a run this season. But another team that nobody seems to talk about, the Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore Orioles.
Come on, Kenny. Don't get my hopes up. Don't get my hopes up.
Look at Baltimore. Like, they're 1.5 games back of the wild card. And they're playing their best baseball right now. And you can't write them out. I mean, even if they don't make the postseason, it's still a winning season, considering the fact that they lost 100 games last season and currently they won 67 games this season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on this bandwagon right now with the Orioles. I mean, I really hope they make the postseason, but more likely the Mariners are going to do it because the Mariners haven't been in the postseason in 20 plus years, which is really baffling to me. They have all those good teams in the past, but now I got the Mariners taking a wild card spot. The Orioles going to finish close, but I think next season to get in the postseason. And yeah, I think the Blue Jays is my dark horse to win the entire thing. But I will keep my eye out on the Orioles as well.
I just feel like, you know what I mean? I'm an Oriole fan, and it hurts me when you see our players leave every year. You know what I mean? When it's time for them to get paid, they just leave every year. Manny Machado, the list go on and on and on. Like, and I see this young talent like Mullins and, you know what I mean, Teo, you know what I mean? Man, these guys about to be gone. You know what I mean? I'm already bracing myself.
Mullins as well. Mullins is going to leave pretty soon, I think.
You know what I mean? I'm already bracing myself for the breakup. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm just bracing myself.
Like, so, what do you think about the Camden Yards reconfiguration of left field in Camden Yards? That whole left field wall is changed.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I think it's it's pretty ugly.
I
don't know what they were thinking there. I think they pushed back the wall, so obviously balls were flying out like crazy over there in left field. Mm-hmm. So
leave it alone.
Yeah, I don't know why they did all that. It's so ugly. It's so weird too. Like, I don't know why you did that, but I don't know who's that benefiting though.
I don't know either, Kenny. But man, I appreciate you coming on, man, Kenny, and give me your time to come on to talk sports with me. Mm-hmm. What do you have coming up, man?
So I recently released my 100 episodes, as I said to you earlier. So if you want to hear that, it's KennyTheSportsGuy.com, Ken with 2 N's. In addition, you can follow me on social media on Twitter at Kenny_sports, Instagram at KennySportsGuy1, TikTok at Kenny Sports Podcast. So the next episode is going to be about my stadium review on Yankee Stadium. I did like an in-depth look about how Yankee Stadium is, and I compare it to the old Yankee Stadium, which I actually believe is better than the new Yankee Stadium.
So, how do you feel? How many future Hall of Famers you think is going to get the nod to go in? in the Hall of Fame
for next year?
Yeah,
I think only one. I think next year's class is not going to be that good because we're entering the age where steroids were running rampant. So A-Rod is scheduled to be on the ballot next year, which is going to be very interesting to see how he does. I mean, right now, next year's class may not even have a class because that's going to be like a little bit of dilemma between the voters and the players because all these players actually either were involved with steroids or not involved with steroids. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the voters react to these ballots.
This before we get out of here, man, Kenny. This is what I gotta understand. You let people that gambled on the World Series in the Hall of Fame like Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
But steroids, like it's crazy to me.
So like even Fernando Tatis Jr. like everyone's bashing him because he took steroids and now apparently he's a very bad player now. Even Adidas, they dropped their partnership with him. And come on, man, he's only 23. He's 21 or 23. He's still young. Like people just writing him off. Like
you let Big Papi in, though.
Yeah, I mean, like
you let Big Papi in.
Yeah, look at Christian Yelich. I mean not Christian Yelich. Ryan Braun. A few years ago, he started hitting bombs, and he was one of the best players in the league. Now everyone's like, he recently retired, and everyone's like blackballing him now because of his steroid use. I think Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to eventually get out of this. I think he's going to play again next year, obviously. But as of right now, I don't think the Tatis hate is actually very valid. You know,
I feel like you gotta let Barry in. I want to see Barry in, and I want to see Pete Rose in.
I do want to see Barry in because he's the home run hitter and Pete Rose the home run king. So I'm a hit king actually.
So let these guys in, man. If you're gonna let somebody that betted on the game and in a World Series in there like Ty Cobb and the peers gonna say no, but you gotta let these guys in, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you still gave A-Rod all that money though. Yeah. A-Rod still got that payday for them to send them. So
yeah. Also, so right now, sports gambling is actually being accepted into society, and just let Pete Rose in. Like, come on, like if you have the commercials for DraftKings every 2 minutes on TV, why can't you just let Pete Rose in? It makes no sense, like for him not to be in the Hall of Fame anymore. The same thing with Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley has been suspended from the NFL for a year, and for gambling. And NFL has constantly have commercials run during their games about sports gambling and how great it is. And now they made an example of Calvin Ridley, which is not fair at all.
But it's DraftKings is at every stadium you go to, every stadium.
But the thing is, like, I don't think it's fair. I think it's unfair for him to be suspended for a year, especially for gambling during games. And when the NFL actually celebrates gambling, it's only beneficial for them if us customers do it. Well, the NFL players forget about it.
And he said, obviously, he never bet against his team.
Yeah.
So I really, and he can't really. How can he influence if he's not on the field regardless because he was injured at the time when he was gambling?
And also, like, he had a lot of mental health issues during that time, so that's really not fair at all.
But I appreciate you coming on, Kenny. Let the people know where they can see you at and get your socials again.
All right. So, hey, everybody. This is Kenny, the Kenny Sports Guy. You can find me on kenthesportsguy.com, Ken with 2 N's. All my episodes are available there. In addition, you can find me on Twitter at Kenny_sports, Instagram at KennySportsGuy1, and TikTok at Kenny Sports Podcast. And you can also follow my YouTube channel, Kenny Sports Guy Podcast.
I appreciate you coming on, Kenny, and giving me your time. You know what I mean? Especially
man. It was actually really, very fun.
Thank you, man. I'm trying. I'm new to this. I've only been doing it for visuals for like a couple months now. I've been doing podcasts for only a year or two, so I appreciate.
Keep going.
I appreciate that.
Be persistent. Like do do what you think is right, and little like segments like this, interviewing other podcasters, it helps out a long way, believe me. But you got this, man. Like, just continue to do what you're doing. Don't worry about, the ratings. Don't worry about how many people are listening. Mm-hmm. Just worry about improving your craft on this.
I appreciate that, man. That advice, and man, I hope you have a good what's holiday coming up?
Labor Day.
Have a good Labor Day weekend. You know what I mean, and hopefully
we should all actually collab for the regular season.
Too. Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, actually, we should do a little weekly show, recapping NFL, all that stuff. I think that would be beneficial.
I appreciate that. We could talk offline and set something up.
All
right. This has been Rod Uncensored Podcast, and I had Kenny the Sport Guy podcast on. And y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Thank you.